Hello, hello, people of the internet. It's I, Soulrack Dragon here, back with more of the Fate Stay Night Remaster. I'm a couple minutes late today. Okay, it was day 7. Whew. Kind of lost track of when I was doing, but also lost track of the time as I was busy with my assignment. Had to add a bunch to HTML, and I still have to work on CSS stuff as well. It's a whole thing, but that's gonna be something I'm gonna post/rant about more if people show up and want to talk about it, or in my Discord. But for now, let us begin with day 7 of UBW. Enough ranting and rambling. Already a couple minutes late. Day 7 is called Ghost Waltz. That's an interesting name. We see Unlimited Blade Works yet again. Huh? When I come to my senses, I realize I'm in a fantastical place. An endless barren land as far as the eye can see. The unceasing wind blows golden sand into my eyes. There I stand, my mind blank amidst it all. Also, just in case anybody did not tune into last one, last day, technically, ended at night, when Castor sort of, didn't really hypnotize Shiro, but she sort of still called him to her base, or workshop, on Ryudo Temple. So yeah, that was a whole thing. We saw Emiya fight more seriously, and, you know, there must be some connection between Shiro, Emiya, and Archer. There must be. Hey, Janice, welcome to the stream. I'll be things. I feel no reason for confusion or panic. I know this scenery. I've had a dream of this before, so this must also be a dream. I'm lucid enough to simply wait for the end. Hey, J6, welcome to the stream. I'll be things. A strange feeling suddenly runs up my arm. The sound of metal clanking. When I roll up my sleeve, there's... My arm is now made of blades. I was about to say, if you don't wake up screaming from that, then there's something wrong with you. But then again, this is Shiro Emiya, so of course there's something wrong with him. I jump up from my bed. Before I realize that I'm in my room, I check my right arm. Oh. Huh? It's fine. Of course it's fine. It was a dream. I mean, it's not like you dreamt you were running away from some big cats, got caught in between some trees with one of your legs sticking back, and had the big cats maul your leg to pieces, and then woke up without any sensation in your leg. Yeah, that totally didn't happen to you, Shiro Emiya. It happened to me many years ago. And I was worried it was real. But, you know, that's the thing about dreams sometimes. My right arm is normal. It doesn't feel like hard metal, nor has it become blades. Exactly what I said. I had a very realistic dream where I was being chased by big cats. I think they were like lions or something. As I was running from them, I tried to duck in between two very close together trees. My right leg got caught behind, and they started mauling my leg. And then I woke up. And when I woke up, my leg was completely numb. I could feel nothing. I thought it was gone. I thought the dream somehow had become real. So I quickly checked, but my leg was still there. Yeah. It's weird. I have weird dreams at times. A dream. I sigh in relief. I don't know why I had a dream like that, but it might have to do with the fact that I made a contract with Saber. Maybe I should try asking Tosaka about it when I have a chance. And more importantly, I need to go prepare breakfast. It's before 6 a.m. Even though Sakura isn't here starting from today, there's still Saber in Fujini. And it's late to start preparing breakfast for the three of us, even now. I'm sorry. It's before 6 a.m., but it's too late to prepare breakfast. There's something wrong with that sentence there. I can't put my finger on what that might be. Also, good lord, that sounds like a nightmare more than a dream. I don't think I've ever had anything that traumatic happen to me in dreams. Hey, Viper, welcome to the stream. Happy things. I make my way into the living room, trying to not make any sound. I pause and try to figure out how they're doing on the other side of the sliding door. I hear Fujini's restless snoring and Saber's even breathing. My guard must have gone down as thoughts of what it must look like in there filter in. Most schools in Asian... Oh! Good lord, that's early! 7 a.m. school? That's like college level early. My schools always started at like 8:15, 8:30. Oh, that hurts to hear. I think that's a bad dream. That's a bad dream to, you know, a bodily horror, Viper. I think that was a bad dream of bodily horror that Janice described there. But I'm guessing you might have a bad dream yourself that you are willing to share. My guard must have gone down as thoughts of what it must look like in there filter in. I hide my blushing face with my hands and breathe in cold air from the outside. Oh, J6, stop. You guys are hurting me. Are you saying that I woke up that I was spoiled to not have to go to school until 8:15, 8:30 every day? Is that spoiled? I need more training. Let me go make breakfast. Okay, also, Shiro, what the heck is going on in your mind that Fujini and Seba had done that would draw a blush to your face, dude? Come on, man. Come on. I shake my head and walk away. But I don't think it's good for my mental health to have girls sleeping under the same roof as me after all. Oh, Shiro. I'll be heading out first, then. Don't be late just because you're by yourself. Okay, you do your best on your work in the morning, too. Yeah, thanks. Breakfast was yummy, Shiro. Your mind betrays you a lot. Yeah, my mind betrays me a lot as well. My mind can go to weird places. I remember... This wasn't so much as a nightmare as it was a dream that I had when I was, like, Gosh, I had to have been, like, less than 10 years old or something. 5:30 every morning. Oh, that burns, J6, that burns. I'm sorry to hear you had to suffer through that. I'm sorry you had to suffer through getting up that early. Although it does make me wonder, what time did you all get done with school? Because that's the real question. When did you all get done with school? Yes, suffering having to wake up so early in the morning. Well, there's still 30 minutes. I'm already done cleaning up, so I should fulfill yesterday's agreement. Oh, you had to be to class by 7 and didn't get out until 4? Oh my... Oh. Good, great. That's so long in class. 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Good gracious, man. Yeah. Like I said, 8 a.m. start for me, and it was, I'm sure you do, but it was an 8 a.m. start for me, and we got done at 2:30 p.m. My school is for 6.5 hours. For all the way up till high school. And I got recess and stuff in between during that. And in high school, it was till, like, 3:30. So it was like an hour extra schooling. So, yeah, I definitely had less school time than you. Oh, I don't know if that's bad for me or what. Most schools don't open till 8 and start 8:15. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I had to deal with, Viper. Your classes start at 8:30 since you do online? That's fair. 2 recess times? I only got one recess time! The wounds from the slash at my shoulder and from when I fell down the stairs have completely healed. On top of that, I have some time, so I train with Saber first thing in the morning. The sounds of our practice swords echo. The clashing of bamboo makes a pleasant sound. Learning by watching others cannot be underestimated. Just picturing an example before I grip my sword makes it a lot lighter and easier to use. As usual, Saber repels my attacks without losing her breath. But it's something wrong with her this morning. Until yesterday, I would have lost my consciousness the moment I got parried, but I'm able to manage her counterattacks today. Well, I say manage, I mean I can avoid the worst-case scenario where my vision goes completely white, even if her counterattacks are still effective. So you do 8:30 online, Viper. Yeah, I'm doing online university stuff too, but for me, it's just 2 lectures at 9 p.m. on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and then I have a week to get all my classwork done. And that classwork is why my stream was a late start today. Whew. I put down my bamboo sword and breathe out the heat built up in my lungs. The clock is already pointing at 8 a.m. Before I knew it, an hour had passed since I had started training with Saber. Of course, all this early starting times compares nothing to what I might have been made to suffer through. I've already said a little bit about how I'm in a different program compared to what I was previously in, and enough time has passed that I can reveal a little bit more of the details as to what the final, nail in the coffin was for me, essentially. So essentially, with the program I was in, I would have had clinical rotation that I would have needed to do 3 days out of the week. I would have needed to be to the clinical site by 7 a.m. and been on site for a total of 8 hours. So it would have been a 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. sort of thing. The thing is, though, is that the clinical site I was told that I could go to was a 2-hour drive away. So that's without traffic. So that's leaving the house at 5 a.m. if I want to just make it. More realistically, leaving the house at 4:30 a.m. to account for bad traffic or weather. Maybe even earlier. So that would have mean I would have had to wake up at 3:30 in the morning every day in order to be ready to leave the house by 4:30 in the morning. I would not get home until 5:30 at night, and then I would have coursework I would need to do, and I would need to be up by 3:30 in the morning. So, given that I do not live alone, I live with other people, and waking up, showering, having breakfast at 3:30 in the morning would have massively disrupted their schedules. I could not, in good consciousness, take the generous offer that was made to me. And even then, it was, yes, I shower in the morning. But, even then, it was more of a, we might be able to get you into this clinical site. There was no guarantee I would actually get into the clinical site. They said, you might be able to get into here, we just have to find out. So it was a coin toss. I might get into there, and if I do get into there, I've got to be waking up at 3:30 in the morning. So, yeah, suffice to say, it was just no. But, okay, let me clarify, Viper. I used to shower, in the morning. Now I shower after I exercise, because since the beginning of April, I've been getting into more of an exercise routine. But yeah. Plus, not to mention, driving for 2 hours, or 4 hours, 3 days a week, that's gonna kill my car and my gas. And I don't really feel comfortable driving around at 5 in the frickin' morning. I really do not feel comfortable driving around at 5 in the morning. That's just, no. I would have had to cross state lines as well, so. But it's all in the past now. I'm in for the IT field right now, and I'm working my way through things with HTML, website design, and all that stuff now. At least that's what currently is going on, but after stream, I have to finish off the last steps of my assignment, which is essentially just making a CSS file and uploading it all to the web server, and at that point I will post all of my work to the Discord so that if anybody wants to see how badly I do or do not code, they can, and then make fun of me. Before I knew it, an hour had passed since I started training with Saber. Since my body was able to react better to Saber's sword, and probably also because she didn't seem to have it in her, it was easy to get carried away and lose track of time. Man, I worked up a sweat, but what's wrong with you this morning, Saber? I don't feel much severity in your attacks compared to yesterday. You have an F in animation, and you have an animation exam due. Ooh. As in, like, computer animation? Because I have no idea how computer-based animation works in the slightest. But I believe in you, Viper. I believe you can pass that exam. You can pass that exam. You can get all that overdue work done. I believe. Yeah, from what I saw, J6, CSS just looks like a separate place to store all of your style HTML code, so that way you don't just make your baseline HTML stupidly big. At least that's what I got from the general gist of the description. That's not true. I fought the same as I did yesterday. The attacks must have felt lighter because your skills are improving. My skills? Really? Saber nods. Well, it doesn't seem like flattery, and Saber isn't the type to say those kinds of things to start with. Blender. I feel like I've heard of Blender before, but I can't put my finger on it, by the way, Viper. Really? I'm surprised. Your technique is like a different person compared to yesterday. You think so? No, that can't be true. You aren't just doing as well today. Martial arts instructors would lose their job if someone could get better in just a day. I feel the same way, but let me see. To be specific, there are fewer unnecessary movements in you now. Your body is already fit, so you can improve just by learning proper techniques. Blender is free 3D sculpting software that also has animation capability. Okay. Also, just something funny that I realized, because one of the parts of this week's assignment was to take the wireframes for the websites we made and create a mock-up of the website. Looking at what I made, I realized I accidentally made a mock-up rather than a wireframe. CSS to improve code readability, also doing so makes links site to multiple CSS to account for different resolutions. Okay. But yeah, so all the wireframe I put into the Discord, those with the janky looking car and everything, that's actually the definition of a mock-up, so I technically already completed one part of the assignment. Yeah. The thing is, though, is I didn't get any points marked off, or anything like that. I got no points marked off on my coursework. And thinking about it, in the following week when we had to post the example of our wireframes and everything into, like, a discussion board, people were saying that, wow, you must really know what it is you're doing. I got lost, and it's like, I don't really know what I'm doing. Very clearly evident by the fact that I did a mock-up instead of a wireframe, so, you know. Yeah, that's on me. But I have updated the mock-up at the very least, so it will look a little bit better, but I'll be posting the updated mock-ups and all my code, as I said, after stream. Exactly, task failed successfully. Fewer unnecessary movements. Come to think of it, my body did move well this morning. It seemed as though my sword parried sabers on its own, even though I couldn't consciously react to it. All I did was copy what he was doing. Just as I thought. You asked me to teach you, yet you were using Archer's technique as a model. Wait, so you can tell? Of course, you did not have a style to start with, so anyone would notice if you suddenly found one. Well, it's not like I was ignoring you. It's just that since I was around him a bunch yesterday, it was engraved in my mind. No, you do not have to deny it. I have no complaints if you were to become stronger. Liar. What's with the obviously dissatisfied face? I'm telling you I'm sorry. Besides, even if I try to model myself after you, I can't even see how you're attacking. You have different physiques on top of it. It's impossible to copy you. Wow, Shiro. Wow, saying that you have a different physique from Seba just because she's really strong? You plan to fail animation. That's a choice. You know, that's... If you want to do that, then more power to you. I cannot fault you if you want to make that decision yourself. You're at the end of the... Yeah, it is actually the end of the semester for most standard universities, isn't it? What I'm doing is an oddity since I'm only in week 3. About to be week 4. That is a valid point, so I'm just your training partner then. I feel like I just dug myself into a deeper hole. No, let's stop talking about this. Anyway, it's clear that I'm able to fight a bit now. What are you saying? Your skills have improved, but only at the bare minimum level. It's not something you can match Archer, Berserker, nor I with, so please, do not try to challenge anyone to battle yourself. Saber is firm. Feels like a mentor reprimanding their cocky student, which makes me break into a smile. Well, having such a cute mentor is oddly amusing. Right. Shiro does still have some feelings for Seba in this route. I get to school over an hour late. The hallway is crowded with students between classes. It seems like 2C just finished class now, as many familiar faces file out. Okay, Janice. I don't know why, but Taiga was pissed. You should brace yourself for 4th period. Oh yeah, I have English today. My classmates tell me the very thing I don't want to hear. The moment I sluggishly put my hand on the door... The history teacher comes out. Good morning, Mr. Kuzuki. You were late, Emiya. We went over what's going to be covered in the exam. Make sure you get it from a friend later. What exam? Mr. Kuzuki, I don't think you're going to be around for long enough to, give any exams. Or we're not going to be around long enough, depending on what kind of bad ends we get, It all depends. For no other reason other than the bad ends that we might suffer. Yeah, sorry for being late. Kuzuki nods and leaves. Soichiro Kuzuki is the ironclad teacher that teaches world history and ethics. He's also in charge of the student council. Though he's a terse talker like that, he's kind of a rarity in a school where his popularity grows as people come to know him. Morning. I make my way to my desk and greet people as I go. It's a little embarrassing to show up late like this. Hey, you're here rather late. Someone greets me, so I turn around. There is Shinji, strangely all smiles. What's wrong? You're acting weird. Did you not get enough sleep last night? I tell him my honest opinion. For a moment he scowls. Then his smile returns. He scowled at me? Oh no. I must have done... He's scowling and smiling. In Shiro Emiya's mind, Shiro must have done something wrong. There's totally no ulterior motives for Shinji scowling at you, insulting him. Shinji was strange yesterday, but that doesn't... Shinji was strange yesterday. Oh, Shiro. What will it take to break through this denseness that is Shiro Emiya? Shinji, were you attacked, you idiot? I thought I told you. Stay home if you want to protect yourself. Shut up. What's with the high and mighty tone? Shinji? What, full of yourself because you're friends with Tosaka? Don't get ahead of yourself. Just because you're working with her doesn't make you hot shit. I know you're happy to have a strong servant, but isn't it embarrassing to be so pleased with yourself? Shinji glares back at me. Now it seems like he's lost all composure, which is really unlike him. Having to deal with Shiro interacting with Shinji is an exercise in patience. Whatever, I'm glad you came. It'd be boring if you didn't have a front row seats, you know? Hey, Zahak. Welcome to the stream. Happy things, happy things. That must be all he wanted to say as he goes back to his seat, chuckling. It's lunch break and the classroom gets louder. Huh? You say he's already gone. He must have gone to the student council room again to go nap. Geez, Shiro, given you know where Issei lives and what happened last night, and what you know of what happened last night, I wonder, might there be some reason that he is so tired? You know? Maybe rub your two brain cells together. Or do you just have blades for brains? Farming the Lotto while watching Ghosts. Not a show that I've watched, although I think my parents watch it. I do think my parents watch it. To be honest, I don't really watch cable television myself. It's mainly YouTube videos and Twitch for me. So, yeah. But Farming the Lotto is something I can concur with. I have about 50 boxes in the bank, and I've opened 10 boxes, and I've realized in the course of opening them that I cannot open any more boxes because my inventory is full. So, yeah. You must have gone to the student council room again to nap. I made lunch again, so I would like to avoid eating in the classroom. The guys in class are making commotion. Hey, what's going on? I call out to them. The boys are huddled up in a secret meeting and look at me suspiciously. This is not the time, that it is not. Look outside the classroom, but do so secretly. Goto must have been watching some kind of period drama last night, the way he's talking. Still, I do as he suggests. Huh? They're outside the classroom in the hallway. Someone's acting even more suspiciously than Goto. That's Tosaka from 2A, right? Does she have some business with our class? There's no mistaking it. I've been watching carefully, that I have. She continually peers into our classroom. This is the 7th path she's made. Now, 8. Yeah, this ain't a coincidence anymore. Come to think of it, doesn't she have a really nasty look right now? Usually she's all composed, right? You're thinking what I'm thinking? Because it looks to me, each time she passes, she looks even more pissed. I don't want any of that. She's super angry. What do you think? Okay, what do you think has her panties in a twist? Actually, I do remember hearing that phrase a lot when I was younger. I remember hearing that phrase a lot when I was younger, along with what's got to stick up their ass. I cannot say I hear that phrase said that much anymore. I cannot say I've heard that phrase said much. It's as if the one she awaits has yet to appear, and has not even noticed she waits. She has hidden away a birthday present, but now fumes over that person, not noticing for an entire year. 10 boxes? Hey, you know what, J6? Considering all the bugs going on with the lotto, that is fully understandable. Completely, fully understandable. Your metaphors are crazy, Goto, yet strangely on point. Were you some strategist or military advisor in a past life? The guys are saying whatever they want. I timidly look out to the hallway again. Timidly, he looks out into the hallway. She's pissed. I don't know what she's pissed at, but I feel like Goto's guess is right. So, what should I do? Oh! Interesting. Very interesting. So we are obviously on the Reen route. What to choose? What to choose? Only started the event 2 days ago. Hey, 10 boxes is still good, man. Let's see. What would Shiro do? So, WWSD. Shiro would probably play dumb. You know. If I'm seeing the deaths, I'm perfectly fine with you continuing. I'm seeing what you're saying with the deaths about the guy shot in the neck by a Girl Scout, day trader walking around not wearing pants or underwear, which is very odd. A hippie killed by a bear trying to hug it. That's a more believable death of the ones you've listed so far. But what would Shiro do? Okay, we're not gonna mince words here. Shiro is misogynistic. He would not just obediently go to see Reen. I think we can all agree with this, yeah? Shiro is a bit of a misogynist. So, he would not go out and see what Reen wants, obediently. Does he have enough social awareness to realize that it's him she is looking for? So, we can knock out number 1. It's number 2 or number 3? I mean, he is kind of dumb. Shiro can be very dumb at times. But he has to know that she has to know that he went to the Ryoto Temple last night because of Archer. So I think Shiro is insightful enough to realize that Reen is probably after his head. Took both red and blue pill with alcohol, died from a heart attack hours later, then had... Okay. That's certainly one way to go. That is certainly one way to go. I don't know what will happen to me if I go out into the hallway. It goes without saying that Tosaka is up to something, but if I'm seen talking with 2A's idol, I'll be singled out by all the guys in class. I'm just gonna ignore her. Pretend I didn't see her. I get my lunch from out of my desk. It's dangerous to eat here, but it's even more dangerous to go out into the hallway and get caught by Tosaka. I'm gonna stay in this classroom for the duration of lunch. Tosaka doesn't have the means to break through solid rampart of lunchtime classroom. Tosaka went back to her class. Well, we'll never know why she was here. Well, she might have just been taking a walk. She seems to do some crazy things every now and then, right? Have you heard about how she almost tried to jump off the rooftop even though she's the one who dumped a third year? I'm curious. Okay, yeah, there is no affection to this choice. I just want to check. Viking died being struck by lightning after wearing a metal helmet. As you do. I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but I would still like to experience being struck by lightning once. Just once. One of my old math teachers, back in high school, he got struck by lightning like 6 times and survived. I want to see what it's like. I want to see what it's like, or experience what it's like to be struck by lightning. And may or may not attempt the Avatar The Last Airbender attempt of redirecting lightning. I kind of doubt it would work, but I still want to know if it would. You've got it backwards. It was the third year that was going to jump. She said she'd go out with him if he jumped the fence and stood at the edge of rooftop for a day together. The third year didn't come to school for a while after that. But why would she do something like that? It's not hard to get struck by lightning, I know, but I don't want to, force it to happen. I just want it to happen one of these times, because there's always the signs, They say your hair will stand on end if you realize that lightning is about to strike you, but I don't know. I just kind of want that to happen one day. Somebody died from failing to eat a donut hole? How? Did they not chew? Tosaka's the type to just say no to something she doesn't want. Oh, you speak of that? Tosaka said something about a suspension bridge. She didn't think she could fall in love with him. She thought that maybe she might develop feelings if they spent a day in a tense situation together. Something that we unworthy would never consider. That it is. You want to get isekai'd, Viper. Fair. I'm pretty sure most of us wouldn't mind getting isekai'd. You know? Get isekai'd, become an OP protagonist, and eventually develop the ability to return to Earth to find out that no time has passed, and then you can bring all the waifus with you, as well as all your powers from the isekai realm. I think we would all not mind that happening. I pause as I open my lunch. I didn't know Tosaka had such a legend. Alright, I need to be careful when I go to the rooftop with her from now on. Oh, yes. Tosaka's back! Don't you think something's different? She was ready to kill before, but now she's so calm that I feel chills. Zahak is talking about a TV show called Ghosts, where it's about a, the main character is a woman who fell down the stairs, gained the ability to see ghosts, and is now seeing deceased ghosts that live in, like, the house, I want to say, she lives in. And there's a bunch of different ghostly personalities. But a teenage girl killed by a chainsaw murderer, that sounds like stereotypical horror movie. If you can bring your friend, your soul is yours, Viper. I mean, if you become an OP isekai protagonist, then, you know. That is the smile of an angel, it is. It is the look of determination that says, if that's how you're going to be, then I'm not going to hold back either. Huh? I feel a terrible chill. Saber's training seems to be paying dividends as my danger sense is sharper. Oh, dividends! I forgot to check if my dividends came in for my stocks. I completely forgot to check those at the end of last month. I peek into the hallway. There is Tosaka, smiling, holding an eraser she must have gotten from her class. Did I get my dividends? I did. Okay, good. I don't think I've ever watched HXH. I've heard of it, but I've not watched it. In an instant. Damn! She got an arm! Said eraser smashes directly into my forehead. What? Amiya suddenly flipped over. No way. What happened, Amiya? Did you install a motor in your chair? Is that a ninja move? Is it, Amiya? Ow. Goto and the others make a commotion over it. I've fallen, chair and all. The others surround me and offer help, though they look at me with anxious, no, excited eyes. Thanks. Wait, what did it look like to you, Goto? You just did something like a flip, like you performed a cartwheel while still sitting in your chair. Goto requests that I teach him how to do it. Well, there's no doubt he'll get a good laugh if he can do a flip on a command the moment teacher calls on him, so I can see why he would be jealous. That would be cool. Like, being able to just do a flip on command. There was actually, back in high school, a guy on my soccer team who was able to do front flips and back flips, and he was he was constantly on the field, so anytime the ball was kicked off the field and we got to throw it back in, he would always throw it back in with a flip. It was funny. It was fun. That's neither here nor there. I wish I can do a flip, but maybe by the time I'm done with my exercise routine I will. Maybe, just maybe. Maybe my real problem is the devil in the hallway that threw that bullet, toting a second and deciding how she'll deliver that blow a second time around. Sorry, Goto. We'll talk later. I have something I have to do. The desk was left unharmed, so I grab my lunch and get up from my seat. It hurts. My forehead where the eraser hit stings more than the hip I landed on, damn it. There's a lounge stringer that drank poison and creepy fan that has her face on his back and has a jar with her toenail. Yeah, that's stereotypical creepy. Tosaka, you... I lash out at the magic bullet shooter while holding my red forehead. It's your fault for standing there so absent-mindedly. It's fine to eat lunch in peace, but you're in no position to do so, right? But with enough force to flip someone, I would have died if I was unlucky. I'm not sure about that. You don't seem to die so easily. Well, I don't care about that. We need to talk, so follow me. Talk as in, you mean a strategy meeting? Of course. Come on, hurry. We don't have much time now since you were taking your time. Lunch break is gonna end. She looks away awkwardly and starts walking. Is it my imagination, or does it look like she isn't doing so well? Oh, Shiro, Shiro, Shiro. And she brings me to the empty rooftop. It's cold. The rooftop is mercilessly cold. It would be crowded with students enjoying the breeze during the summer, but it's desolate as a shopping district on New Year's during winter. It's cold. I say it one more time. Though it's an honest opinion, I'd really just like the person next to me to take the hint. What? Suck it up if you're a man. My objection is shot down right away. Oh! Reen has his number. Reen has his number. She knows. Over here, Amiya. It isn't as windy and we won't be seen. She quickly moves to her destination and doesn't make eye contact. ... Yeah, eat my lunch. She must have called me over since she had something to talk about, but she doesn't speak up at all. Even so, when I sneak a peek at her, she's looking at me as if she wants to say something. I keep eating my lunch. Shiro, you dense mother trucker! Shiro, how can you be so dense? How? There's nothing else I can do to keep my cool. At this point, I don't care that it's cold or quiet. It's just... this is making me anxious. Since the places where we can avoid the wind are limited, Tosaka's eating her bread right next to me. We're so close that if I move my body, even just a little, our shoulders will rub. Gasp! Shoulder rubbing! That is just a step down from hand-holding. You two, you are in a public school. You should not be behaving like this. Doesn't it look like we're eating lunch, like, together from the outside? Yeah, having been there at one point, I can agree teenage males are dense as a brick wall. Although I was probably not so much dense as I was just straight up stupid. Because I've said before about, I am well aware that I had girls interested in me back in high school. I've said before that I had a bit of a reputation just from some bad rumors that were spread around. And I got asked to dances a fair bit, but, see, I have the issue where if I fall for someone, I fall for them hard. And I had it in my mind as a dumb teenager that my first dance would be with the girl I truly liked. It didn't even occur to me to go to a dance with any of these other girls to actually get practice with dancing. So yeah, I got asked to dances multiple times by many girls, and it's like, thanks, but no thanks. Oh, why? I like someone else, and I kind of want them to, you know, say, maybe invite me. And, yeah. You're the quiet artist for most of your life. That's fair. That's fair. Honestly, I have no idea how the rumors spread, Zahak. It, honest to goodness, caught me by surprise how those rumors spread. Because it was an anonymous source that tipped off the principal that said that they overheard me discussing it at lunch. So it was just really weird to be called out of class for that. So yeah, it was not me, legitimately. But I did... No. No, I was running up against someone, but he was a cool guy, honestly. And I did talk with him afterwards. Like, and he even joked around with it that, man, as we were approaching each other, I kind of expected the Imperial March song to start playing when you started walking towards me. He was a band kid, and, you know, he was pretty cool. Rest his soul, for he has passed, unfortunately, but he did not spread the rumors. He was a cool guy. So I don't know who spread the rumors, and at this point, it's been over a decade, so it's like, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, you haven't been here for that bit of backstory, Janice, but back in high school, freshman year of high school, because I was on the soccer team, and there was only one soccer team, so I was on the varsity soccer team, I ran for student council president, and I got student council president. Come the end of the year, there was elections for next year's sophomore class president, and I tried to run, and at some point during all of it, in the middle of one of my classes, I got pulled out of class and taken to the principal's office because apparently some rumors went around that I said that if I did not win the sophomore president elections, that I would blow up the school. So yeah, that rumor went around, and it kind of, because I went to a Catholic high school, it kind of got me the label of the Antichrist for a lot of high school. So, yeah. Nothing came of it because I was the last person that they pulled aside to talk to. They talked to all my friends, asked them, hey, we heard this concerning rumor. Do you remember anything about this discussion that happened at your lunch table? And they all backed me up, so. I mean, to be fair, I did lean heavily into conspiracy theory stuff back in high school. Like, I was very much a conspiracy theorist back then with regards to, like, the Freemasons and the Illuminati and that kind of stuff as well, so. And then afterwards, I kind of almost took a bit more of an edgy persona and kind of kept up a little bit of that darker bad boy reputation, I guess is the best way to put it. Because, that's just your... Well, the thing is the rumors were valid enough that apparently even the seniors at the high school were afraid of me. They were afraid of me, a freshman, who was maybe 5'3" tall. So, yeah. I guess I did have aura. But by the time it was my senior year, most of my graduating class was, like, fine with it. Nobody really believed that anymore, especially after a video, because in my senior year, for AP English, we had to do a video project on the once and future king, ironically enough. And in that, you know, we went to one person's house, and they had a bunch of cats in the yard, and, you know, they filmed me playing with cats, and, they had the joking response that, see, I told you he was human. So, you know, that kind of dispelled a lot of the rumors, but it is what it is. Ooh, elbow stop. But yes, in that video, I played as, Arthur. So, you know, I think I've been connected with Fate for very much a very long time. The connections to Fate have run deep. I try my best to keep from blushing. Damn it. Why didn't it occur to me when she invited me into the hallway? It's only natural that I can't keep it together. Though she's my ally now, I've admired her for quite some time. Well, I can't say this to Tosaka, since she would just laugh it off, but man, I wish she happened to be more considerate to a case like that. Ooh, that sucks, man. Honestly, that does suck quite hard for that kid to be accused of that. That does suck quite hard, and I hope that they ended up finding a better friend group than whoever called them. I hope that they are doing well, and that it is not going the way that I feel like it's going to go. My chopsticks just hit the bottom of my lunchbox. Finished. All that's left is to clean up after myself. Seems like Tosaka finished a while ago and is watching me idly. Man, lunch break is gonna end in a few minutes. I guess I'll just have to ask her what we'll do after school today. Hey, Tosaka, can I ask you something? We speak up simultaneously. Our eyes finally meet for the first time today. Oh, it's nothing, but if there's something you want to say, I'm all ears. If you have to argue at first. Oh gosh, they are stereotypical. Also, I just saw Tosaka has no fingerprints. Is that a thing mages do? They erase their fingerprints so that there's no trace of them being left behind at crime scenes? It sucks that you got bullied in school. It really does. Thankfully, outside of that incident with me, there wasn't really any bullying at school. As far as I'm aware, at least. Silence follows. The end of lunch break is nearing. I'm relieved and disappointed that we might have to go now. Then... Sorry about last night. Tosaka murmurs in an apologetic voice. I said about yesterday. I used a command spell on Archer. I know it's late, but I'm sorry. ... My frivolous thoughts pause. What happened last night? Archer tried to kill me, and Tosaka said she used a command spell on him. Tosaka. So that means... Yes, as long as we're allies, I ordered him not to attack you with a command spell. So from now on, something like yesterday won't happen again. That is a relief. It is a relief, but Tosaka used a command spell on something like that. I see, but there's nothing for you to apologize for. There is something he did on his... That is something he did on his own. He didn't know what he was going to do either, right? You know, that doesn't mean I have nothing to do with it. It's my responsibility as a master for letting him do as he pleases. She looks down. This really is unlike her. It bothers me more than the fact that I got attacked by Archer. Alright, I'll say that's the case if you say so. But I'm surprised Archer actually told you. I would never think that he would actually report to you that he attacked me. Yeah, but it's obvious something happened if your servant comes home wounded with no magical energy. He hides things, but he doesn't lie. He readily confessed when I asked him what happened. Sorry to hear that you guys had poor middle school years. I do feel sorry that you guys had to go through that stuff. Oh, you're back to normal. That's good. It's not like you're like that. Hey, what does that mean? Don't worry about it. So, where's Archer? I left him at home. He's been acting strange since last night, and I don't want him to see you after what happened yesterday. Yeah, I don't want to see him either. It's obvious we would end up insulting each other if we saw each other. Yeah, I mean... The only reason I have a context for middle school, by the way, is because first through... So, I went, as I've said before, I've gone to Catholic schools for everything from before college. From kindergarten to 2nd grade, it was a singular school. Then that school decided to do a merger with another Catholic high school that was like maybe 1-2 miles away, transferring it so that 3rd grade and below went to this other Catholic high school. So for this other Catholic school. So for 3rd grade, I went to this other Catholic school, and then 4th grade, I went back to the original Catholic school I went to. And then at 5th grade's time, the new unified Catholic school duo ended up declaring bankruptcy. So at the end of 5th grade, I had to go to a 3rd Catholic school. So for 6th through 8th grade, I was at a singular Catholic school, and they treated it more like a high school, where we would rotate between, like, 3 different classrooms over the course of a school day. It was weird. Very weird. And we didn't have lockers. We just carried around crates or tubs, like little plastic tubs that carried all of our books that we could take from classroom to classroom, because the other 6th grade class would be coming in at that time, or the 8th grade class would be using our classroom at that time. It was really weird. But Tozaka, why did he attack me? He said the fewer enemies, the better. Something about how he didn't care about you, but he has to defeat Saber because she'll get in the way later on. He thought it was bothersome how easily you got manipulated by another master, so he decided to kill you. Yeah, again, Viper, I'm sorry you had to go through that kind of experience. I am sorry you had to go through that kind of experience. I hope that you are doing better now, at least. Damn, I can't object that. I'm certainly burdensome, falling into Castor's trap like that. He must have figured that the moment I was caught in her spell. I got it. I don't want to harp on this too much. It was partially my fault as well. And in any case, I don't know what would have happened if he hadn't come. See, it evens out in the end. Don't feel bad about it. Yeah, it means a lot if you say so. She looks away awkwardly. That strong sense of responsibility must be getting her in the way of her agreeability. Oh, the bell rang just in time. Lunch break is over. I didn't even taste anything because of the situation, but I guess this wasn't bad at all. Let's get back inside. We'll be late for 5th period. Hey, I finally got another CE drop. I'm farming in the time of doing all this. Define better, because I definitely could be. You could be technically better. I hope that you are not being bullied anymore by anybody in your life. How about that? Is that a better definition, I guess? Unlock 1, 2, 3, 4. I stand up and head to the door. But Tosaka is still sitting. I've only rolled 10 boxes, but I have 50 boxes stored up so far, and I'm going to try and hit 60 by the end of today. Tosaka, the bell rang. She doesn't answer, but she looks at me as though she wants to say something. Keep me company for a bit. It's alright to skip 1 class, right? Glad to hear that you're better in that case, then, Viper. The words of a model honor student would never dare say. The bell rings to indicate the start of 5th period. Yet, what are we doing? Drinking coffee at a place like this. On a side note, I had to go buy the canned coffee real quick-like. There's still 5 minutes until class starts, right? I think that's enough time to go down to the store on the 1st floor from here. So was the devilish request from Tosaka. And how about you? No, when I started learning Magecraft, yeah, I think that's about right. I begged my old man for something like 2 years, and he finally taught me. So, nearly 8 years. Your father sure did an incomplete job. If he was going to teach you, he should have taught you since you were born. You'd have already hit a growth spurt 8 years ago. From that point, he wouldn't have been able to engrave a crest on you or tamper with your body. Tozaka says dangerous things. Well, I know this is the part of her that's a mage. I guess. Like I said before, my old man never intended to teach me Magecraft, so that's why he didn't go through the proper steps like you did. You know, Shiro, a lot of the confusion could probably be cleared up here, too, if you told Tosaka, oh, by the way, I'm an orphan, and my father saved me from the giant fire that happened like a decade ago, and I don't really remember anything of my life before that fire. So that's why I'm not, you know, a proper mage. Life would be so much easier, Shiro, if you just said those words. Wait, what do you mean by doing something when you're born? It's just how it sounds. The longer the history, the larger the family's magic crest get. 5 boxes a day? That's very sustainable compared to what I'm trying to do. A magic crest is a magic circuit given form. The moment you try to engrave it on a human host, their body attempts to reject it, and it seriously hurts. So we transplant it little by little from when we're young to minimize the pain. We also ingest this powder made from bitter herbs and strange bones to create resistance within our body. Well, you don't have to worry about it since it doesn't concern you as a mage. It would be all sorts of trouble if you try to copy it now. I don't intend to. But are you okay? It sounds painful just hearing about it. I'm thinking that Viper's sort of referencing Shiro, saying that, you have a dad? Could never be me. Am I right? Although Ilya would also be a good one to say that line. I don't know how to explain it. I've never known a normal practitioner of magecraft. Actually, I'm not thinking about it. Rin, Shiro, Sakura, Ilya, they all kind of don't have father figures. Or they lost them very young. Interesting thought process there. He is alive, you just don't call him. That's fair. I had a best friend growing up that was very much in the same boat. Very much in the same boat. I've never known a normal practitioner of magecraft, but when I went to Tosaka's house, I felt an inexplicable pressure. A family that passes along a long history. Children that have the duty to succeed since they were born, secluded from the normal world, completely disregarding anything they may want. I bite my lip, daring to imagine how painstaking and tiresome that must be. Oh, I see, so you're worried about things like that. Oh, what's with that look? It's not like I'm worried or anything. Of course not. There's nothing to be worried about. I'm doing this because I want to, so I don't regret it at all. Isn't it the same for you? Why are you asking me? Wait, the same? Tosaka and I? Jeez, you really lack some self-awareness, you know? Look, my training was certainly tougher, but I've never thought about running away from it. I'm saying it must be the same for you. Oh, yeah, that's true. I was never asked to do anything as hard as what you were doing. Don't be ridiculous. It's not sane to start learning magecraft after living a normal life for 9 years. I don't know what your daily routine was like, but I must have been dangerous. Like you were living on the edge of, and would lose your life if you failed. Oh, no. Since I'm an amateur, it's not supposed to be that dangerous. I won't even compare what you went through, Tosaka. I suppose. I can't compare myself to you either. Training in magecraft is like that. The only common thing is that we're putting our life on a scale. It varies how much we dedicate to it, and so how much we're willing to risk differs. +1 to Draco. In that sense, your training is a lot more harsh than mine. I've never trained in a way that might kill me. First of all, I don't fail. Wow, you actually went there. She casually dunks on me. Tosaka basically said that she doesn't know what it feels like to fail, unlike the rest of us. Hey, why the long face? I just gave you a compliment. I don't exactly feel thrilled to be told I did well this time from someone who always gets perfect scores. I don't just mean right now. My point is that the training was hard, but it wasn't painful. That's why I didn't quit. I'm still working on it. That's the same for you, right? Hard, but not painful. I do think that's what I feel. Shiro, get your mind out of the gutter. Never thought it was painful or hard. No, to be honest, I couldn't afford to think that. I just wanted to catch up to Kiritsugu. I'll become like Kiritsugu one day. I've kept training to become a hero of justice, just that Kiritsugu couldn't. Looking back, most of my memories are about training I did in the shed. I never regretted that. Perhaps it's because I believed that was the most important thing to do for myself. This whole allegory can still be associated with him getting his head out of the frickin' gutter. Because I'm pretty sure we all know that Kiritsugu had a wife and a side piece, you know. I don't remember what her name was. I think it was like Maya or something. I like practicing art with just help both painful mentally and emotionally. I see. I haven't really thought of it like that. I guess it means I've done my share too. Huh. That's right. You've come this far being self-taught, so you should have more confidence in yourself. Tosaka says proudly. I'm a bit embarrassed. It's worse when she's happy about it, as if it's her own accomplishment. Let's talk shop now that we got that clear. We have to get to know each other's strengths if we're going to be allies. Strengths? Oh, the magecraft we can use. Isn't it late for that? You already know what I can do. Yes, your magecraft is strengthening, right? I won't go so far as to say that's rare, but there aren't many mages that use it as their primary field. I've been wondering, but why are you particular about strengthening? Well, it's the only thing I can use. I've tried other things, but I could only do strengthening. The rest are basic things like making a blueprint and stuff. That's not something to be talking about right now. I see. Mine is conversion. The aggregation, flow, and transformation of power. That's my basic power, and I know all the famous spells. I can make a bounded field the size of a classroom and adjust the shape. Conversion of power. That's the most basic all-rounder type. In other words, she's saying she can transfer magical energy into any vessel and transform it. I see. I'm glad you're telling me, but is it really okay for you to tell me your magecraft? I don't think we actually got that in the Fate route. We did not get the fact that Rin is a conversion type in Fate. You told me yours, right? It's not fair if I hid mine. Tosaka says and puts her left hand out. I showed you last time, but this is my magic crest. The technique of conversion is what's passed down in the Tosaka family. I'm good at transferring power from myself or someone else. Usually magical energy disappears when we take it out of our body, right? Magical energy itself can't create mystics. We activate the equation called magecraft using magic energy before it disappears, so it's hard to transfer pure magical energy that's not involved in magecraft. She stops there and takes out a small stone from her pocket. Is it a gem? The transparent polyhedron reminds me of a kaleidoscope, but I can store my magical energy into other objects. No, not just my magical energy, but I can store other mages' magical energy, and although it's difficult, magical energy isn't the only thing I can transfer. The most compatible storage space is gem. You know that gems can act like a location that are easy to store thoughts, right? A prison that stops the flow of energy. On top of that, crystals that have been in the ground a long time can house strong nature spirits. Such gems can become simple magic crests when the magical energy is poured into them. Such gems can become nature spirits. Can house strong nature spirits. Oh, that just gave me the fun little thought of, you know, in this timeline, technically, Yu-senpai is probably around somewhere. So, I just have the humorous thought of her just wandering around or just reading a book somewhere, and then all of a sudden she just feels her house was destroyed as Rin used a gem that was her house to cast some kind of spell. I don't know why my thought went to that, but I don't know. I don't know why it's funny to me either. Well, since they are gems, they'll break once the magical energy is released. Tosaka shrugs and puts the gem away. Man, that's a waste. By breaking, you mean it'll go away after getting used once, right? Do you have to replace such an expensive thing like a gem each time? Yeah, exactly. That's why we're always broke. Mages of the Tosaka family have to start making money once they succeed. I see. Yeah, we all have our different problems, Tosaka. She looks away as if she said too much. Yeah, I think this every time, but Tosaka is actually really awkward deep down. Hey, I mean, we've not gotten any clarifying thing otherwise, so... 5th period is about to end. Tosaka finished explaining things to me, so I asked about Shinji, since he's also from a family of mages. Hey, Tosaka, did you know Shinji's family, the Matao family, is a family of mages? Yes, I know. But my father said they've declined over the past few decades. I heard they don't have a bloodline of mages now. That's the truth. And it's also why I was surprised to hear Shinji became a master. Oh, so she did know. Of course, she supervises this land, so she must know all the families with the mage history. She should know that Shinji's a master. Wait, hold on! Oh, Shiro. Pay more attention to conversations, man! She needs to get on the grind for her magecraft hobby. She needs to invest in the stonks. You know, I think if she invests now into Bitcoin, that she could be rolling in dough eventually. You know that Shinji was a master too? Sorry, I found out this morning too. Looks like I underestimated him. My assumption that Shinji couldn't be involved backfired. Tosaka says as if it's nothing. However, something's off. She was searching for the third master at school, yet she doesn't seem to consider Shinji a problem at all. Tosaka, Shinji is a master, right? Bitcoin was launched in 2009. 2009 was when Bitcoin was launched, so probably not. Excuse me, this takes place in like 2004, I want to say. Yes, but it shouldn't be a problem. Shinji himself doesn't have any magical energy, so it's not like he can do anything dangerous. Our enemy is the master hiding at school. Shinji doesn't have any presence as a master, so he's not the one we're looking for. So does that mean there's actually 4 masters at our school? I would think so. Well, I don't think Shinji would interfere since I told him not to do anything. Another statement that bothers me. Wait, first of all, how did Tosaka find out that Shinji's a master? Can you tell me more about what happened this morning? There's nothing to talk much about since Shinji was the one who told me. He asked me if I wanted to team up with him since we became a master. He became a master as well. I'm starting to get a bad feeling about this, but I can't stop her now. So, what happened after that? Nothing happened. I declined, of course. But he was so persistent about it, so I let slip that I don't need him since I have you. Tosaka laughs, recalling it. Oh, Rin. Yes, technically 4 masters, indeed. That must be the reason why Shinji was acting so strange. However, so what are you going to do about Shinji? Are you going to let him be? He's the one who set up the mounted field around school, right? What? Oh. Hang on. Is it possible that Rin is Shiro's soulmate? As they are both, apparently, very oblivious. The density coming off of these two is enough to threaten to make a black hole appear, it feels. Tosaka freezes. I knew it. She didn't notice that Shinji was the one who set up the bounded field. You're wrong, Tosaka. It's true that Shinji isn't a mage, but he set up that bounded field. I'm sure he is a servant that excels in magecraft like Caster. Tosaka grows pale. You didn't notice? No, I knew the bounded field was something done by a servant, but... She couldn't make the connection with Shinji? I recall how Tosaka was acting until now. I bet she was so worried about last night's incident that she couldn't think about Shinji. This might be the biggest mistake she's made in her life. This is bad. Shinji might be... Tosaka gets up instantly and glares at the exit. At that instant. Oh. The abnormality around the school openly reveals itself with perfect timing. Okay, given that it is perfect timing, I've got to wonder, what did Shinji have Ryder just perched up here in spirit form, spying on Rin and Shiro? So they're eating lunch together. Their shoulders are almost touching. Should I activate it now? No, don't activate it now. Wait until they realize that I'm the mastermind behind it all. Those two dense fools will never see it coming. Or those two dense fools. This will be the perfect cinematic moment when those two dense fools realize that I'm the one that controls this school, or something to that effect. Bounded field. The sky is tinted red. Stagnant red air immediately suffocating everything within the school grounds. It won't affect mages who can cycle magical energy through their body to ward off this effect, but normal people will pass out, and if enough time goes by, they'll die. I know, hurry, Shiro. I mean, I prefer the Sakura face myself, you know? Although, to be fair, I kind of have one of each of the faces. I have a Sakura face, I have a Rin face, I have a Seba face. I technically have more Sakura faces, though, so I guess that is the point of order. The hallway, red as blood. The air, red as blood. Thick air sticks to my skin and creates the sense that this is all just one horrible dream. Disgust threatens to rip itself out through my lips. Like coolant, I try to force a reasonable, controlled thoughts through my confused and heated brain. You have no Sakura faces? That's sad. So not even Lam Lam. Truly, it is a fate to suffer, to not have Lam Lam. I break for the classroom closest to the stairs on the 4th floor. Oh. Tosaka stops for a second, hesitant to enter this disastrous scene. I know how she feels. I don't like it any more than she does. They're still alive, it's not too late to save them. I check the nearest student for their pulse and breathing. There is not a conscious person left in this classroom. The students who were sitting in their seats and the teacher at the podium are all lying on the floor. Most of the students are unconscious, limp, and their eyes are clouded over. The few others... I don't even know when there's going to be another raid up for any of the Sakura face. Honestly, I mean, given that I don't know what's going on in the story outside of the summer coming up, and the fact that, according to you, Janice, we're getting a Saber Medusa as part of an event, which, again, I'm very much looking forward to getting Saber Medusa. I kind of hope it is after summer, though, so that way I might have some quartz to spend. But, yeah, beyond that, I am blind. Their skin is congealing. As if scorched by cold flame, their skin is stripped of all vitality and shines in eerie light like melted wax. Tosaka is breathless before the scene of disaster. We have no time. To get to the bottom as fast as possible, no save. It's before summer, isn't it? Saberdusa is before... Medusa before summer. Yes, Parvati is a Sakura face. Did you not... Hang on, Viper. Did you not realize Parvati is a Sakura face? I'm pretty sure she even has a Spiriton outfit that is Sakura's body. And the whole reason that Kama is a Sakura face is because Parvati possessed Sakura, saw Dark Sakura in there, and it's like, no, we don't need that. Threw Dark Sakura out, and then Kama found Dark Sakura and took over Dark Sakura. Hence why Kama is the Sakura face. But, okay. Trying to draw back onto my memory of the Unlimited Blade Works abridged anime. Draw back your mind. Draw back. Draw back. Draw back. What happened in the anime? I'm pretty sure he's supposed to call. That's the best choice we have. If Shinji's servants set up the bounded field, I just need to call for Saber. Tosaka, I'm calling for Saber. Teach me how to use the command spell. Huh? Hold on, if you're calling for Saber, also, you used yours yesterday, so it's my turn now. You can call Archer if Saber isn't enough. So how do I use it? Concentrate on your left hand. You should close your eyes. Imagine the shape of your command spell in your head and release it. Give a command while you release it. I close my eyes. I can't take my time, so I clear my thoughts as much as possible. Alright, Viper. I concentrate on my second command spell. I'm counting on you. Come, Seba. And release the second mark. The back of my left hand burns. Simultaneously, a sudden mass forms. A knight in silver emerges from a space distortion next to me. I've come in response to your summons. What is the situation, Master? Is it grave enough for you to use your command spell? It's just as it looks. The servant set up a bounded field. I want to eliminate her as soon as possible. Understood. I certainly feel the presence of the servant on this floor. This floor? The servant is on the fourth floor. There is no doubt. What about it, Reen? No, I'm sure that if that's the case if you say so, but I'm confused. I can feel the origin of the bounded field on the first floor. I'm sure your ability to detect servants is superior to mine, but I'm pretty good at detecting traces of magecraft at least. Are you saying the servant is on this floor even though they set up on the field on the first floor, Tosaka? That's literally what she just said! I can't say for sure, but that's what I feel. I'm positive the field source is on the first floor. So we have to choose between the two, huh? If Shinji placed the servant on this floor, then one must definitely be a trap. If we make the wrong choice, we'll be sacrificing everybody in the school. Reen, what happened to Archer? If he were here, then we could make a more accurate analysis. He's not answering me. This battlefield completely cut us off from the rest of the world. I have no other choice but to use my command spell or wait for him to sense our situation and come. Tosaka and Saber glare at each other. This isn't the place for it, though. Wow, they're glaring at each other? That's surprising considering what happens on another route. Also, again, Elia very much has a low presence in UBW. Think. Tosaka has lost her composure. The best thing we can do right now is... Alright. I'll go search the first floor. I feel bad for leaving the servant to Saber alone, but she should be able to fight by herself. Saber, I'll leave the servant to you. You can handle it on your own? Of course. What will you do, Shiro? I'll hurry down to the first floor with Tosaka. It would be dangerous by myself, but I should be fine if I'm with her. Besides, she's the one that can detect magical energy. Now let's go. Yeah, alright. I was planning to go without your go-ahead. If decided. So now... Hey, what are you doing? Are you insane breaking the leg of a chair like that? We should be armed, right? I can only use strengthening, so I need something. I swing the leg of the chair I broke off. It's like I'm recreating what happened that one time with Tosaka. You should break off another chair leg. My success rate seems to be going up as I easily manage this time, so I grab another leg, just in case. Not pre-read at all. Shiro, I feel a faint presence outside. It seems like we're surrounded. Surrounded by what? I don't know. However, we simply need to go outside and check. You're right. Can you take the lead? Of course. It is my duty to be your shield. No, you're a sword, Saber. You're a sword! Let's go, Tosaka. We'll press on to the first floor. You could also just jump out a window. What the hell? The instant we go out into the hallway, we find what's surrounding us. Are those bones? Oh, I realize now why these are here. Puppets made out of inhuman bones swarm from one side of the hall to the other side of the hallway. Tosaka, what are those? Golems, a type of familiar. Get over here. They won't be a match for Saber no matter how many of them there are. Sorry, Saber. You know, this occurs to me now. What happened to Caster's master in the Fate route? Because in the Fate route, you don't technically know who her master is. So you never really learn what happens to him. I run to the stairs. The sound of Saber crushing the strange bone puppets echoes through the hall behind me. They go down the stairs. It's not far from the fourth floor to the first. However... Damn you! I smash the bone doll, blocking my way with the chair leg in my hand. This is the third one already. Maybe it's because of the horrible state of this place, but I don't even care about the violence overtaking us. Shiro, you should take one of their bones and use that as a weapon. Also, the Dean Fate anime is literally a conglomeration of all of the routes, so it's probably not the most accurate. My mind has gone numb. Hatred, fear, sadness, cowardice, all of it has locked up in my brain. The only thing I can think of is to make it to the first floor. I'll just keep swinging out these two weapons in my hands, just like him. Pardon the yawn. No, you don't. I mow down the fourth body of bones. The bone puppet that tried to attack Tosaka from one side crumbles as it crashes into the wall. Hey, you okay, Tosaka? Good. She's fine. Where's the origin of the field? Yeah, it's right there. This classroom. Tosaka points at a room about 10 meters ahead. There are a few more bum puppets that follow us down the stairs, but we don't have the time to deal with them. I parry the attacking sword with the weapon in my right hand. If they have swords, Shiro, then take the frickin' swords! Then slash the exposed body with the weapon in my left. The fifth bone artifice crumbles, but they just keep coming. There's still more than 10 of them swarming the hallway. Damn it, they're persistent. When will you guys run out? I retreat a bit. The chair legs in my hands are worn down. Even though I strengthened them, they're originally just stainless steel. I don't know if they can take one more attack. Get back, Shiro. Huh? I'm surprised, but I retreat like I'm told. At that instant, Tosaka jumps out in front of me as if tagging in and throws a gem at the bone creatures. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. All-star like Smash Mouth. Where's Shrek when you need him? Would Shrek be Berserker class or Saber class? Because he fights with his fists a lot, and Sabers do tend to do that. No, he might be a ruler class then. He might be a ruler class, because the ruler class is the class that uses their fists a lot. My vision goes white. What was that some kind of release incantation? No, Donkey's the rider class servant, and Dragon is his mount. There are no signs of destruction in the hallway, and only scattered remains of the bone figures are there. Thanks. You give me time. I rarely use Topaz, so it took me a while to get ready. To be honest, I would have been overwhelmed if you weren't here. She drops her shoulders in relief. But she only does so for an instant and glares at the classroom. What's with the ... J6? Let's go. Shinji should be there. Tosaka runs to our destination. I follow her and step inside the red classroom. This is absolute hell. The air filling the classroom cannot be called a gas anymore. The vaporized blood dyes the eyes of onlookers like paint. I hear voices of anguish from all directions. This is the source of the bounded field, the place where the absorption is the strongest. The students collapsed on the ground are entirely different to the students on the 4th floor. The groans that I hear are just my imagination. The fainted students have pale faces and are still as wax figures. Tosaka just gazes at the scene, her legs shaking. A clicking sound. It must be to suppress her emotions. Tosaka chatters her teeth as she beholds this horror. She lifts her shaking leg and moves forward. Between the desks, there is one clearly animated person. Sitting hunched among the fallen students, Shinji Mato looks up at Tosaka. You. A stern voice. He must have reacted to that. Shinji lets out a strangled cry and clambers away from Tosaka. No excuses. I'll do whatever it takes to make you pay for what you've done. Tosaka approaches Shinji. No, it's not me, it's not me, it's not me, it's not me! He shakes his head and violently backs up to the wall. Not you. Are you serious? Release the bounded field. If you don't, then I'm gonna blow that face of yours to hell and... wait, no, I said it's not me, it isn't. I'm not the one who killed her! Huh? Stranger and stranger. Shinji flees from Tosaka, but not really. He's looking at the floor. At our feet. Why there? I look down. The only thing there are the students lying unconscious on the floor. Other than that, there's nothing else. I call to her and point. A stunned voice. Her anger toward Shinji turns to confusion. The moment she sees the thing lying on the floor, the animosity fades. Oh, are we going to actually see it? Are we going to actually get this scene? I was not aware if we would get this scene. My breathing catches. The thing collapsed on the floor is completely dead. Long purple hair. The woman in black. The servant who attacked me. Ryder. She's dead. Tosaka's voice is flat, emotionless. I said it's not me. I didn't do it. I activated the battlefield and no one was able to move, but Ryder was... The servant in black. Ryder was killed with one blow. What kind of weapon was it? How was she killed? I guess the anime took some more liberties then, because I'm pretty sure, like, she got straight up saw tortured with all of her limbs sort of twisted in a circle, and then her head twisted around as well. If I remember the anime correctly. Only one blow against a servant. God dang it, I forgot the clip channel. Just hold off on posting it and I will make a clip channel after this stream. It was a single strike to the neck, which was ripped to pieces. I can't imagine how that happened. She must have been caught by surprise, but the enemy must have been skilled to sever her spine in one blow. No, it was more than severed. It was as if her head had been set in a vice and her neck was twisted, muscle, bone, and all. Ryder disappears. At the same time, the red world fades away. It seems like the field was set up by the servant after all. However, who did this? Shinji inches back to the hallway, cornered by Tosaka. I told you that there's one more master at school. It's your fault for ignoring my warning and causing a commotion. Looks like you left your servant to die and survived, but it's your turn now that I found you. I don't know what kind of master you are, but I'll finish you off next time for sure. As if I don't have a servant anymore. I'm not a master, so you guys will be the ones being targeted. Sure, I suppose you're right. There's no harm in letting you go, even if you still have your command spells. It might be unsightly to see you running around, but a single harmless gnat isn't going to kill a person. Yeah, I won't kill you here, depending on your response. Harmless? A gnat? Me? Hey, it's a step up. It's a step below pest, even. Shinji Mato is not a mage nor a master. You're not even an annoyance. So tell me what you saw. That's your only value right now. Shinji scrambles back. Tosaka's very presence a threat. Well, I don't even know if she'd actually follow through with her threat. But she's seriously angry. She's lost control of herself seeing this nightmare. Come on, what kind of servant finished off your servants, Shinji? I don't know, you stupid. You guys are the ones who should be scared. You guys will be their next targets. You. Shinji runs out into the hallway and Tosaka starts to go after him. She stops, though. It seems to occur to her that what she has to deal with. No, that's wrong. It's not like it just occurred. She clenches her teeth, looking back at the collapsed student body in frustration. Her expression is somewhat typical of her, but her knees are shaking and her eyes are wavering so much so that she looks like she's going to cry. I can't tell if she's more angry or sad, but I'm convinced. She has a strong attitude, can do anything, and is a distinguished mage. But deep down, she is just a girl that acts her age. It's okay, Tosaka. Everyone's still breathing. It's not like it's over. Everyone's breathing? Yeah, I know it's hard, but look closely. Everyone is still alive. The field is gone, so all we have to do now is call for help. So do we call an ambulance or somewhere else in this case? Should we contact the church if their injuries caused by magecraft? I could ask in a calm voice. It seems like she was finally able to regain her senses as Tosaka slaps her own face with both hands. You can contact the church. If we explain the situation to Kirei, he can do the rest. Alright, then let's call him right away. Tosaka nods and dashes into the hall. Her destination must be the office. There's a phone there, so she can make a call right away. New servant data added. Knees weak, arms heavy, vomit on sweater, already Shinji spaghetti. True. So, presumably Ryder. Unless Caster... It said we got new information twice, but I don't know what 2 bits of new information we got. Yeah, I don't know. Damn it. That's unfortunate. I wasn't paying attention, and now I'm not going to be able to 3-turn this node easily. Or even 4-turn it. We finish contacting the church and go outside. It'll be a problem later if we're found to be the only ones unharmed, so Kirei ordered us to pretend like we weren't at school today. So, Saber, you were fighting Caster. Yes, it was the Caster-class servant controlling those golems. I defeated the Caster who was hiding at school, but it must have only been her shadow. I see. So it means that Caster was controlling those golems from Ryoto Temple. Then there's no doubt that Caster was the one who attacked Shinji's servant. So the 4th master at school is Caster's master, huh? It's possible that she used Shinji to lure Ryder into a trap. That is the likely situation. You say Ryder had her head cut off in one blow. I can only think that something was restraining her and that she died without resisting. That's worrying, but we found out that Caster's master is at school. It wasn't a complete waste. I turned to Tosaka for confirmation. Tosaka only stares back at me silently. Ever since we left the classroom, she's been looking at me as if she wants to say something. If you have something to say, say it. I get the willies when you look at me like that. I get worried about when I'll get hit from behind. She still stares at me for a while, then, with a serious expression. You're pretty calm, Emiya. It's a bit unexpected. She says. No way. I've been a basket case. I'm still really pissed off, too. We both are, aren't we? Even then, you were able to figure out everyone's condition. I couldn't do that. No, that's nothing. I'm used to seeing corpses, so I can tell. Used to seeing corpses. We head out. It'll get busy here once the ambulance arrives, so we'll head back to into the forest and make the exit from there. That's when... Yeah, I'm surprised Saber's here. On the way back out, we run into that tardy bastard. What took you so damn long? It's obvious, right? I rushed over since I sensed Master's imminent danger, but it seems I'm too late. If Saber is here and Rin is safe, then it's safe. I assume everything is over and done. I'm using Nido Burrito with double Castoria. Yeah, everything's over. I'll tell you everything you missed while you were taking your sweet time, so come over here and listen up. Just in time for a lecture. This is the worst. The 2 of them quarrel, leaving us aside. Well, it's more like Tosaka is yelling at Archer while he just calmly brushes it off. Cast Nido. I sadly did not get Avenger Nido. Those 2 are close after all, Rin is angry because she trusts Archer, and Archer's accepting the verbal abuse as a form of apology. I get what you're saying, but why are you explaining it to me, Saber? Well, your expression was complicated, and I thought you were perhaps confused. I don't know what's so funny, but Saber's smiling as if she's figured something out. That makes what I'm seeing before even more unpleasant. Okay, next time I won't worry about appearances. So let's say it's good for now. So, which servant was eliminated? Archer's expression changes. His usual confident, caustic, and laid-back attitude withdraws. And in its place is a rational warrior. The Rider servant disappeared. We don't know what happened, but she must have been defeated by Caster. By Caster? Then what happened to Caster? Don't tell me she went unwounded. I don't know, but Ryder was defeated in one blow, so I think Castor's unwounded. The three of us were in agreement on that. Then... what a fool. So she was just all talk. I didn't think she was capable of a win, but getting defeated with one blow? Man, show some spirit. Don't go out like a coward. He goes back to his usual manner and insults the late Ryder. Ryder died protecting her master. You don't have any right to criticize. What, that's what you have to say? A coward's a coward. If she calls herself a hero, then she needs to kill at least one person to face. Or if she can't do that, at least drag an enemy down with her. How conceited. She was defeated without resistance, as she was in a situation where she could not do a thing. Are you one to call yourself a hero while speaking ill of her death? Whatever the reason, it makes no difference to the fact that her defeat came ignobly. Well, it was certainly my mistake to say anything about a hero. The weak will die no matter what, hero or not. Heroes unfit for war should bow out early. Well said. Then will you fight me, Archer? With you? What a surprise. I don't know what crawled up your ass, but challenging your ally. Too bad. I've been ordered with a command spell to not fight the two of you. Challenge me now, I'll only be defeated without resistance, just like Ryder. Would your chivalry approve of fighting such an opponent, Saber? The two glare at each other wordlessly. You know, something that occurs to me, where did Saber get this outfit? Because I'm pretty sure it was established in the Fate route that when she summons her armor, it destroys the clothing, so... where did she have this outfit at? Stop right there, Archer. Tosaka's quiet but firm order stops them. This is no time to be fighting with Saber. Ryder disappeared and one master was eliminated, but there's no doubt that there is one more unidentified master hiding at the school. Our truce lasts until we defeat the master hiding at our school, or what? Do you want me to use another command spell in order you to not fight against Saber? Yeah, okay. Saber was just so adamant about her pretty little ideals that I couldn't help it. Sorry, Saber. We can fight after this truce is over. No, it was immature of me as well. I will ignore your comment out of respect to Rin. Saber takes a step back, still glaring at Archer, and stands by my side. Tosaka and Archer also take a step back to clear the air. Well, that's about it. Our truce is still on. It's not possible today anymore, but we can search for Castor's master tomorrow. To be clear, we're just maintaining our status quo, but is that okay with you? Of course. What's the plan after this? Are you gonna try and go to the Ryoto Temple after all? Of course not. According to Archer, going to the temple is like suicide. If we want to defeat Castor, we'll have to search for her master first. Must have brought it in a small bag. That or Rin had a second change for her on hand, which would be just asking more questions. For better or worse, Castor's master seems to be coming to school daily instead of doing something on our end, and having them on guard, we should just let them continue. I try to think of how she came to that conclusion. Tosaka had noticed that there was another master at school. That must be because there's someone with magical energy other than Shinji. Since Castor appeared during everything, and the master hiding at our school would be Castor's master. So Castor's master is coming to school for some reason. That means that instead of staying at Ryoto Temple under Castor's protection, they're coming to school, defenseless. Yes, I did see your art. Sorry I didn't reply to it. But yeah, it looks pretty damn good. You definitely have a very sharp art style that you do very well with making those edges pop. The sharp edges of the drawings do make the servants pop, especially in that second set that you put up there. Looks really good. Really solid artwork there, Jess. In other words, after we find out who the master is, we attack them before they go back to the temple. Yep, it seems like Castor's master doesn't know that we're masters. If they knew, they wouldn't come to school, right? Oh yeah, that's true. Then Castor's master didn't know Shinji was a master either, huh? I can't come up with an explanation, but there's a high possibility. Such a crazy thing doesn't seem possible. What with how good their servant is at magecraft? Right. Even I, who has no knowledge as a master, got this far thanks to Saber. If you have a servant like Castor, I'm sure you wouldn't be so reckless as to go out. That's wrong. Your entire premise is wrong, Reen. Archer? Excuse me. I don't think Castor's master has free will. I think the master believes he has free will when in fact he's being controlled by Castor. That woman is not someone willingly suffer others. She would defy the very concept of a master and be the one puppeteering them. Thank you. It was an unintentional burp there. Right now creating a new set of merch for August this year. Gosh, that's coming up so fast. It's hard to think how much of the year's already gone by. Castor's master, a puppet? Like they're being tricked by Castor or had their memory of being a master removed? Perhaps it would be something like if the master isn't even aware of the situation. Originally, a servant can't do anything to a master. The servant cannot exist if they kill their master. On the other hand, masters have command spells. If the servant disobeys, the master can kill the servant. In that case, it's safer to trick your master than to kill him. Exactly. This year is just flying by. Tosaka ponders on that, but I'm not convinced. Really, Castor's been doing a lot of evil deeds, right? Is it possible for her to hide all that from her master? Wouldn't the master be more on guard the stronger the servant is? That's not a problem. She can make any convenient excuse if her master is an incredibly stupid and good-natured person. Castor's master may be very well that. Hey, don't look at me like that. Yeah, stop implying that Shiro Emiya has enough skill to be a master of Castor. We all know he doesn't. What? I can't help if a prime example is right here. The possibility that Castor's master is a stupid person is not zero. I see. You have a point, Archer. Hey, why are you agreeing with him, Saber? Okay, I got it. No matter what kind of person Castor's master may be, there is a high possibility that they will come to school tomorrow. We'll continue to investigate the school, and we'll attack Castor's master as soon as we find them. Sound good? Also, good gracious, can we stop saying Castor's master? It is just like, bleh, tongue-tying. Well, that seems like a reasonable course of action, but how are we going to look for them? That'll be today's homework. We'll both go home and think about it. Either way, you and Saber are tired, right? I don't want you two collapsing, so we should call it a day. No, I'm not that tired. It's still early, so we can... Hey, Tosaka. Just do as I say. Either we can't get into school right now and we have zero clues, there's nothing we can do here, and most of all, haven't you realized Archer's acting strange? After what happened between you two yesterday, things aren't gonna settle down at this rate. Fine, I'll go home, so... Don't get so close and whisper like that. And I'll see you tomorrow. I don't think it'll happen again, but be careful at night. I won't forgive you if you get taken away by Castor again. World is going faster, becoming old and perceive time faster. It could well be the second thing. Alright, I'm going home. Also, good work today. I'll acknowledge you as a proper master just for today. I mean, it's also just like... probably less strict scheduling as well, because when you have a very strict schedule of having to get things done, then time feels to drag on, but when your schedule is very loose, then time seems to just fly on by. Let's go, Archer. You're going to explain yourself to me in detail once we're back home. Oh, I knew it. There's no way I'd be off the hook that easily. Getting ready to look at Pravati, you just gotta clear the lotto stage you've been sitting in for hours. You've been sitting in a lotto stage for hours, just waiting, I'm guessing? Hey, you, do I really have to knock some sense into that skull of yours once and for all? Tosaka and Archer leave, complaining all the while. Let's go home, too. I'm a bit tired, so we should eat dinner early today. That sounds good. I support that idea, Shiro. We leave the woods trying to not be seen. Yeah. I'll pull myself together and go buy ingredients in the shopping district, make a big dinner, and rest my mind and body. We can discuss Castor and our master after that. Stop saying Castor Master. It is so annoying. After we finish eating, I receive a call from Tosaka. Regarding the incident at school, it seems like there are a lot fewer victims than we had thought. It must be because Ryder, the servant who set up the bounded field, was defeated quickly. From what I understand, the students that were in the same classroom as Ryder needed to longer stay in the hospital, but most of them just have anemia. School's not going to close down, and we'll be having classes like usual tomorrow. Wow. Oh, we're doing school stuff. You forgot you were seeing it. That's fair, too. That is fair. But wow. So, in the Fate route, it is very specific that school is going to be shut down for a while because of the Ryder incident. Yet, in UB Dubs, you know, again, school isn't going to be shut down. People weren't as, severely injured. Considering everything else we know about the differences between the routes, currently, Fate route has so much higher of a fatality rate compared to UB Dubs. So sad for Fate route, Shiro. How many lives were lost because you made an alliance with Reen early on and believed Shinji, or didn't believe Shinji. Tisk, 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 Shiro. Tisk, tisk, tisk. How else did you mention it without saying Caster's master? The unknown master would be better. Shiro, what did Rin say? She says school's going on like normal, so we'll go tomorrow and look for Caster's master. I see. Then no one suffered any serious injuries. There were a few. Oh, I think Fuji's not home yet because she's busy with a staff meeting or something. That's good. I'm sure she'll be sitting at the dining table tomorrow morning as though nothing happened. Yeah, I'm relieved too. Well, she has extraordinary strength, so I wasn't worried once I heard that everyone was safe. Then Shiro, continuing our conversation from earlier, Saber leans over the table with a serious expression. So you haven't given up yet, Saber. Of course not. I'll sleep in your room so that we do not repeat last night's mistake. You have no complaints, right? Of course I have complaints. Having Saber sleep in my room is like telling me to die. Shiro, first of all, it's your fault for falling sway to long-distance hypnosis from such a great distance. Long-distance hypnosis from such a great distance. That feels like a self-explanatory sentence. You probably could have just said, falling sway to long-distance hypnosis. You do not need to add in the from such great distance. Seba. I cannot protect you from Caster's Magecraft, so it's natural for me to at least be in the same room. The closer I am, the better I can sense Magecraft. If Caster is after you, I cannot sleep away from you. Well, that's a very sound argument, but Saber, I don't think Caster would use the same strategy since she failed once already. That's what I think, but if I were to say that to Saber right now... You're too optimistic. That's why you were tricked by a fiend like Caster and insulted by someone with a twisted personality like Archer. It's because you are as overly agreeable as the chocolate bun we had for dessert. Oh, Shiro, he's seeing Seba in a light personality again. It'll be something like that. Are you listening, Shiro? I will not listen to these but your woman excuses. I will be sleeping in the same room starting tonight, so please do not escape to the shed in the middle of the night. I have no idea. I've never had a chocolate bun. Saber glares at me. She even anticipated that I was going to run away to the shed. I'll have to hold out and try to get her to agree on a compromise. Alright, I'll have you sleep near me. So you finally accept it, huh? Yes, that's the obvious choice as a master. But not in the same room. You know there's an empty room next to mine, right? On the other side of the sliding door. Yes, I know, but what about it? That place should be good enough to protect me while I'm asleep, right? First of all, the enemy won't even come in if we're sleeping in the same room. If you're standing by in the next room over, then you can attack the enemy the moment they let their guard down. I feel like I'm making sense here. That's enough, right, Saber? To be honest, I don't know about two people sleeping in that small room. We physically can't fit. I think it's bad as a servant to cause her master our lack of sleep. Well, Shiro, all I'm saying is that in a different route, you certainly have a different opinion on two people sleeping in that quote-unquote small room. You certainly found a silver tongue tonight, Shiro. Understood. It still sounds like an excuse to me, but fine. I shall agree to that plan. Whew. Good. Man, being a master is hard enough. If I sleep in the same room as Saber on top of that, my processor will overheat. Your processor will overheat. That's a phrase. With that, the chaotic day comes to an end. It's becoming a habit to train with Saber until 11 and spend an hour doing my routine in the shed. I get back to my room when the date changes and hear Saber breathing as she sleeps. I feel myself getting flustered from the thought and try to keep my cool as I get in bed. How is Saber sleeping flustering thought? I close my eyes and shaking away any thoughts and tell myself to get asleep as soon as possible. As if I can sleep that fast, it's stupid. I try my best to not think about Saber and look back at what happened today. Well, you said the date changed, so nothing has happened today so far, Shiro. He is a misogynist. The Red School. A field of blood that would create lots of victims had we not stopped it. That blows any frivolous thoughts away. The students collapsed in the red classroom. She was so desperately bearing the sight of Ryder collapsed on the floor and the students that looked like corpses. Oh, I remember. At that moment I was able to find out a deep part of her. I'll kill you the next time we meet. I mean, we're enemies, right? Though she acts like a distinguished maid, she's never crossed the vinyl line. She's brave, strong, and has a charming regality about her, but she's also incredibly good-natured. The difference must be her burden. The one area where she fumbles. The more she tries to act like a mage, the more she denies herself. Yeah, but man, I'm one to talk. Another +1 to Draco. I sigh and pull the covers over my face. How do I put this? I'd like to do what I can to support such a perfect girl. But there must be something unscrewed in my head to think such a thing. Shiro, we've established there are multiple things unscrewed in your head. And that is the end of Day 7. There's no way I'm going to get through Day 8 in any reasonable time. Especially since I still have to make a CSS file for my homework. So this is going to be where I call tonight's stream at the end of Day 7. So next week we will work on Day 8 of Unlimited Blade Works. I'm not sure what day exactly next week. If you will let me escape out of this. I'm pressing the escape key and it's not working finally. But, yeah. So next week we will continue with Unlimited Blade Works. Wednesday's stream we will be doing Pokemon. And Friday will be Ordeal Call 0. Whatever the heck that entails. As well as probably a lot of leveling up of the servants. A lot of leveling up of the servants will be happening on Friday's stream. So, yeah, that will be all then. For now, though, I've been Solar Dragon. I hope you've all enjoyed today's stream. If you have, leave me some feedback in whichever way you so see fit. If you want to check out more by me, be sure to check out my channel here on Twitch or YouTube. Same name, same games. There is plenty of content for all to enjoy. But once again, I thank you all so much for coming out. I hope you enjoyed. Have a fantastic evening, everybody.